How's it going, everybody? So, I was navigating through Facebook and I had this idea come to my mind. And this idea that came to my mind is every time I'm scrolling through my timeline, I see a lot of recommended articles for me based on what my friends like the pages that they're subscribed to or something. And then I spent some time just scrolling and I noticed some titles for some articles that were particularly interesting. So I said, I'm not going to read them until I go live about it. And I just want to try something different and see how I handle a video like this and just something different. So I'm over here in a website called PuckerMom.com, and the title of this article is If You Want a Different Kind of Love, Invest in the Beautifully Broken Girl. I don't know what to expect, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it, and then as I read it, I'll let you know how I feel about what I'm reading. So if you scroll down, some stuff is enumerated, which is good. It'll give me a sense of direction. But, anyways, it goes there is beauty and sadness in the girl who's brave enough to love deeply. Someone in her past who she believed in more than anyone crushed her heart and left her shattered. But now the beautifully broken girl wears the scars on her heart. Oh, it's not the scar, it's like badges of honor. Number one, she knows extreme happiness. And good God, I clicked on something that I shouldn't have. She knows what it's like to wake up excited, looking forward to seeing that one special person. She knows what it's like to look at someone and see perfection, beauty, and all that's good in their eyes. I can sort of relate because I feel like when I am dating someone, I try to find reasons to see them perfectly despite their flaws. So, yes, yeah, girl, tell them. Number two, but she has also seen extreme sadness. She's seen her face coated in mascara, cannot relate, and tears and barely recognized her own reflection, cannot relate. She knows what it's like to hit rock bottom, and as a result, I cannot relate to number two because you guys know that I don't wear that mess. So I can cry my life away and you would not know that I have been crying. So, anyways, because as a result, number three, she knows how strong she is. Well, of course, I know how strong I am because I work the absolute shit out of my body 5 days a week. But anyways, if there is one thing she is proud of is her strength and ability to get through anything. Even on her worst days, she is capable of overcoming whatever life throws at her. She knows that. Well, actually referring to what the article is saying as opposed to me trying to be cute and not funny, talking about physical stuff when this is dealing with emotional stuff. I can see that because honestly, I haven't experienced a relationship that left me feeling like I don't know my worth, or like a relationship breakup was so hard on me. Like, none of my breakups have really taken a toll on me, to tell you the absolute truth. Um, but I know what this says because I was actually feeling down that my relationships had failed because I felt like I was terrible at choosing a mate or something like that. But it has nothing to do with that. It's just that when you're dating, you're getting to know someone, and sometimes stuff happens to where you're just not belonging together. So, can I say that a relationship breakup makes me stronger? Yes, but at the same time, I cannot attribute everything that I am to that when it comes to the dating department because I'm just, I believe in myself, period. So, oh man, Pucker Mom, don't judge me, but like I said, the titles were catchy. So that's why I am doing this the way I'm doing it. So let's keep going. Number four, because she was left to pick up the pieces of her heart. She knows what it's like to live life while completely numb and going through the motions. Well, I have had my heart broken while remaining on a relationship. But let me explain to you what for me heartbreak is. It's like when I constantly try to improve the quality of the relationship, but for some reason I'm not granted that opportunity, and thus I end up dissatisfied. That to me is kind of a heartbreak because I'm like, man, I'm ready to progress, but you not being on the same page with me makes me feel like I'm not all that to you. Can you define your feelings for me? But but can I say that I've been ripped to pieces? Not really, but I have felt that feeling of not being completely corresponded to, and it sucks. But I cannot say that I have had my life destroyed because of a relationship, you know? So I'm having a hard time relating to what this is saying, but let's proceed. What you saying? What you saying? I kind of think if feminists wrote those articles, honestly, I get the subjects and points, but I think it puts emphasis on how we should just do things just cause, kind of like one of the subjects. I'll keep what you said on mind, all right? Because as I read this, it's like I want to give my initial genuine reaction. So let's keep rolling. Number five, she knows her worth because someone treated her like she was worthless. She knows what she has to offer and won't settle for average. Someone may have gotten away with not treating her well in the past, but she'll never let that happen again. Well, for me, I walk in a relationship knowing my worth, but while I'm in a relationship, I can actually see how much further my worth goes. But it's not because someone treated me like I'm worthless. It's just that I know that if I have standards, I deserve to implement standards because there are some disciplines that I have kept up with. And if a guy wants to be with me, there's some stuff that he has to respect in order for this to work because it's who I am. So if someone treats me like I'm worthless and I genuinely feel that way, do you think I'm going to stick around for a man like that? No. So, so I'm sorry, but if you remain in a relationship like that, it's because you enjoy it. It has to be. Because if you're abused in any way, you will want to address it and try to come up with a solution. But if the solution is not imminent, you say bye bye. So for me, I have been in situations when I have been in a toxic environment in a relationship. But what I do is I sit down with my man and I try to get stuff fixed and I let him know that if we cannot fix this, this relationship cannot continue because it's not healthy for me. But I do not wait for it to escalate to this stage to where I feel like I'm worthless because I have self respect, you know? So let me see what you're saying. Oh, thank God. I completely bitch slapped my phone. On the page saying it's worth dating a single mom, either, yeah, that's settling is self entitlement. I put that on my read later. I guess we should read it together. Bingo, your worth goes further. is you work together. I think the undertones is an issue with me. For example, my ex put emphasis on I need to learn how to salsa dance or it's not going to work. I'm like, the club doesn't benefit our relationship or children. My man, you deserve points for that because I cannot tell you how many times I have been invited to go to the damn club, and I'm like, you gotta understand, I have always declined, and it's because a I'm in a relationship, and I take the relationship very seriously, and I'm going to respect it, and it's something that my man doesn't do, so why would I do that to him? Um, a club environment is just incredibly toxic because normally people are drinking, people are smoking, and it's just a cluttered space. And you guys know that I have a certain degree of claustrophobia. And something about bumping against strangers, you know, that I have issues with people touching me. So that is just not the environment for me. I'm not going to put myself on the alliance then. So I'm like, I feel like places like that are where people go to try to have ulterior motives, and I do not take a part of that because I'm a decent person. I'm not saying that if you go to a club, you are a bad person or you are indecent necessarily. I'm just saying that a lot of people that go there, they have the intention of, you know, treating that like it's Las Vegas and committing sins. And I'm saying that I am a person who does not engage in that type of activity. So I have been told that I'm just boring, or maybe some people have told me that I'm not missing out, but some people just say, you know what? I mean, you're young. Why aren't you having fun like this? And I'm like, because the definition of fun to you differs from my definition of fun for me. So, anyways, let me see what you're saying. The undertones of ultimatums will start to appear. I used to club, but I'm not trying to be in that crap 4 days out of the week with random people. She's stressed it so much it causes issues with our relationship. Plus, focusing people to do your things only. I already almost got into a fight many times at her clubs and dude making sick comments like your girlfriend is a nice piece. My issue is I like to flex my alpha stuff and like to fight. So women need to stop trying to force that crap. I understand she was Puerto Rican and it's a cultural thing, but it's not a requirement. It's a cultural thing? Wow. The fact that there are cultures out there that it almost sounds like her culture is saying that for a man to demonstrate his worth and that you're worthy to him, that he has to physically fight and defend you. That's crazy. I don't think I could be happy in an environment like that because um it's just not healthy. It's not toxic. I don't want to put my man on danger. I feel like a lot of guys get killed um defending girls as it is because I cannot remember ever reading a story where a girl got killed because she was defending her man from something. Have you? If you have, please forward it to me. I want to read it. But I'm just saying that, and I know you just said that you meant the club stuff, but reading that gave me this other thought, and I'm like, it's crazy. No, like my man can give me my place, but it doesn't have to be like that, you know. Um, and also, you said something else. What was it? Oh, the comments that guys make. Exactly. Like because apparently I am above average by people's standards when it comes to looks. I am pretty humble about my looks. I have a pretty high self esteem. Like, I am happy with my appearance. I'll give you that. But I'm not like a diva kind of person. I'm not like, yes, I'm the queen around here. Yes, I'm the one who be getting the compliments, so therefore I'm going to act like a diva about it. No, like, to me, I love compliments because when I was growing up, I had a quite low self-esteem, but somehow puberty said, "Girl, I'm gonna reward you for enduring all that." but but I do not like being the center of attention like that because of my looks. Because what can I say? I don't want for my boyfriend to feel uncomfortable at the fact that a lot of guys are thinking about me in that way. Like I guess, what is the correct way, the appropriate way to compliment someone else on their mate? Like, I don't think there is such a thing. Therefore, I believe that you should refrain from making comments like that because um, it's crossing a line. Like, these two people are together, they have an intimate life. Do not interrupt that. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure that my boyfriend would not appreciate a man saying that about me. Like, I'm pretty sure that he would probably say something or just nod to get out of the situation. But either way, I would know that I have my place in his life and he's just avoiding conflict. Um, but at the same time, I wouldn't appreciate it if a girl said to me that my man is, this and that, because I'm automatically thinking I cannot trust this beach with a T and an I, because I'm like, that means you're checking my man out, and I don't know your intentions, so I cannot trust you if you're making comments about that, like that, about a man. And especially if I see you trying to talk to my man a lot, it's like, no, you're suspicious. So, anyways, let's go back to this article real quick. I told her return my key and get out, have fun, have fun, stuff the club and bar. We are going to court. It goes back to self entitlement. You have a complete right to do that because no one deserves to bring drama to their home. And as far as I know, a marriage is between two people. When there is a third, a fourth, a fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, I think that's a lot of people. So, anyways, she may be guarded, number six, but she still believes in love. She'll protect her heart because she once gave it away too quickly and too easily. Still, deep down in her guarded heart, she knows there's beauty in love. See, like I said, I have not been toe up in a relationship, but I did have my certain degree of defensiveness when I knew that a guy who liked me was trying to get close with me and perhaps date me. But in the end, it comes down to this: if I like you, I go after you. If I don't like you, I don't mess with you. So, because even though I told myself that I will remain single for a while after my second relationship, my current relationship happened to start not too long afterward. So that means that this cannot apply to me because I did not feel like I needed to be having my guard up. When I am in a relationship, I'm ready to move forward. If I'm guarding my heart too much, I'm not giving myself the opportunity to build something with my new person. So I think you just have to sort of control your emotions. Like, you will be hurt. It's okay. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to eat a quart of ice cream like I did a month ago, do what you gotta do. But you cannot expect for someone to have mercy over you if you are doing this to yourself. If you are your own worst enemy by being defensive all the time. You know, it's like if you watch sports that involve fighting, there's no way that you're going to win your match if you're constantly defending yourself. if you're constantly blocking. You have to be offensive. In a relationship, if you're constantly guarding yourself, you're not building, you're not progressing, you're not moving forward. So if the relationship starts falling apart, it's your fault because you're not. What are you? This is a new person you're dating. The person who hurt you is in the past. Maybe you said that again to the following person. Let's say that you're me and this is your third relationship. You're the second person you're with. Let's say that they hurt you. You're thinking, oh, the first person I dated hurt me. The second person I dated hurt me. Therefore, the third person is gonna hurt me too. You cannot walk into a new relationship thinking that way and expecting for it to progress quickly. You know what I mean? So you just need to get over stuff or just don't date until you get over stuff, you know? I'm trying to feel some kind of sympathy, but I just cannot because I'm not that way. I cannot relate. When I started my current relationship, which is my third one, I was flying with it. I was sharing stuff, and I did not feel like I had to guard my emotions, guard my feelings. No, I saw this guy, I loved him, and I got to know him, and I loved him even more. And then, I made the move, and I'm glad that I made the move because he's still with me. We're going to our fourth anniversary in September. So, anyways. Number seven, says she won't give her whole heart right away. I pretty much just tackled this without meaning to. she, if she's learned anything, it's to be selective with matters of the heart. She'll give you her heart piece by piece over time. And number eight, she'll tell you her story when she's sure that you're trustworthy. Again, how do you get involved with someone that you're not, that you ain't feeling, you know? Like, to me, everybody is trustworthy unless I just know something about you ahead of time based off an observation I've made. Because, you guys, how could I possibly have this channel public, sharing personal stories, and be able to relate to this? I know that I'm going to get trolls. I know that I'm going to get people who are going to send hateful comments. But to me, everybody in the planet is trustworthy to a certain extent because I don't feel like I exist for people to hunt me down. I cannot live my life feeling that way, you know? So maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but like I said, I just cannot relate. So I'm going to just say it from my perception. So, anyways. And finally, uh, oh no, there's two more. Number eight, she'll tell you her story when she's pretty sure you're trustworthy. Her past made the beautifully broken girl exactly who she is. When she's ready to tell you about it, just listen. It's your job to wipe the tears and just hold her. It's not. It's her job to get over it. Because you are a new guy. You don't need to be wiping her old tears. For me, with my current boyfriend, I did share with him some stories that were traumatic for me and I did cry. But I wasn't expecting for him to be like, nah, baby girl, I'm here for you. I'm your Romeo, so you don't have to go through that. No, I just wanted for him to. I agree with the part of just listen. But I'm just telling him a story about me so that he knows how I got to how I am. Which is, I'm not saying that traumatic experiences really transform me because my spirit has remained the same. Like, I'm still that fun person, energetic, and everything. But do I need a guy to wipe my tears and hold me? No, no. I have my challenges and I carry them, but I get over it. You know, I can take it. I'm strong. You know, I'm designed to push a baby out of my body. So how can I not be designed to handle emotional crap, you know? Anyways, and finally, number nine says she won't be afraid to love you. She'll just be afraid that you won't love her back. I mean, a guy saying that he can't, that, or sorry, a guy giving me the impression that he won't love me back. I mean, you cannot force someone to love you, right? So just love because that is who you are. You are a kind, loving person. But if the guy doesn't love you back, you shouldn't be afraid of him not loving you back because you're not perfect. He has his goals in mind, his standards, and you just ain't meeting them, sister. Don't feel offended about it. God, I hate that I'm so stuffy because I'm having trouble pronouncing any word with an N. It's like tough. But anyways, I mean, I cannot go into a relationship and be like, I'm afraid that you're not gonna love me back. So I'm afraid to love you. But I don't know. This was a tough article to like review on the go because I just was not finding myself relating to any of that. So yeah, let me see what you're saying. Uh, Another thing I dislike, I don't like the against self entitlement. It's like a requirement. The article stresses that men should be like your bestie. This is making men like lie. Lie. The whole article puts emphasis and undertones of put up with my issue. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. I thought that I was kind of an a-hole because I'm like, I'm sorry, but I cannot see it that way. If it's cute, the stuffiness adds spice. You don't relate because you are logical, and that's why, and seem fair. Well, I'm glad that you find me comprehensible with this stuffiness because I'm really trying. Like, um, in the middle of my sentence, I kind of run out of air, so I'm just trying to make it. Anyways, but yeah, yeah, yeah. And that too, it's like the classic, honey, does this dress make me look fat? You're literally asking for your man to lie to you. Because if he were to be honest, what are you going to say? Ah, you're such a ick with a D. You know you shouldn't say that to me. That's not very nice. Mother effer. If you're wide. Period. Don't ask him to find you slim when there's no way for you to shrink undergarments. You know, it's if you're a person who's overweight, what you do, if you're truly concerned and passionate about looking your finest, you work on it. Unless you have the genetics to where you just cannot gain weight, you do like I do. This sister works out hard, 2 hours and a half every week, 5 days a week. I feel great. So if you don't feel great and you are dependent on your man to lift you up, you are, how can I say this? You're just provoking the problems that come your way. You are perpetuating for your man to do something that you don't like for him to do, which is lie to you, because he wants to lie to you because he does not want to upset you. Nothing terrifies a man more than to see you cry or be angry because he can't figure out what to do to make you happy. So he'll know that if he lies to you, you'll be like, oh, thanks, honey, because I was really not feeling sure about this. Woman, have some confidence. That's all I'm saying. So, anyways, let me see what you're saying. Um, and they will go find someone else to give them compliments. There's a whole army of men on Facebook ready to be simp. My ex would get super upset because I didn't give comments on her dress. I told her all these dresses all the other men saw you in. I don't give power to narcissists. I agree, no one wants to see crying if we don't know what to do. And see, my current boyfriend taught me to not obsess too much over compliments, because I thought that it was weird that he never compliments me. Never, ever, ever, ever. I think he only compliments me once a year. Like him verbally tell me that he likes my appearance. But I brought it up to him. I said, "You don't compliment me much. I feel like you don't like me that much. Am I right?" And then he said, "No, I'm just not an emotional guy. I'm just not a guy who says that type of thing. But if you need that, then you need to maybe find the guy who will do that for you. But if you expect that from me, you just ain't getting it." And I didn't get upset when he told me that. I did feel a little bit down because it would be nice for me to have the reinforcement from my man, because I think that's part of flirting, that's part of romance, that's part of spicing up the relationship. But he taught me that I need to be confident, period, and that I shouldn't wait for him to acknowledge that for me. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I dress up nice to go for a date, it's because I'm thinking about him. And I want him to be like, my girl is looking extra hot today, you know? But he explained to me that he's just not that way. But like I said, once a year it happens to where he says, "You look nice," or "Those colors look great on you," or "Your hair is nice. What did you do to it?" Um, but he pretty much taught me to be self confident no matter what. And I thank him for that, because I was giving importance to something that doesn't have it. And he also said, just because I don't say it doesn't mean I don't think you're pretty. Or just because I don't say endearments to you doesn't mean that I don't think you're pretty. Because he's not the kind to say, honey, or sweetheart, or this and that. I have heard him say my name maybe like 4 times since I've known him. But just because he doesn't say it, I'm not trying to sit there and be like, "Ugh, my man simply does not give me my place." I learned to let go of that stuff and to focus on the good times that I have with him, which are very, very often. So, let me see what you're saying. Okay. It goes back to women want men to be their best friends. I am a man, not a woman. I want to eat chocolate and cry with you. I like science. You know what you do. How to fix or work on that? You have to go to them and ask. I like my ex. I told her kinda the same thing. I might think it, but I don't say it. It's not a bad thing. Plus, who wants to be forced things? Exactly. My boyfriend taught me that he will not force himself to do something or say anything. Um, Sorry, my typing sucks today. It's not you. It's just that my glasses somehow have scratches. It happened when I went on my work trip, so I have to shift my head to be able to see through the clear part of my lens. and I'm also terribly nearsighted. So it's not like I can take off my glasses and see clearly. But I will talk to my optometrist person, glasses person, on Tuesday to set up an appointment because my insurance coverage started on the first. Um, so I will get new lenses, but not new glasses. So I just cannot wait because it's dangerous when I'm driving. I'm finding myself having to move my head too weirdly. So it's a safety hazard. So it's not your typing. I get it. It's just that I'm seeing symbols where there aren't any. Um, Self confidence is key, but acknowledgement is which you seek. My ex would get mad, and I told her just come up to me if you want to know my opinion. Ask me. Exactly. Like sometimes I would expect to. I was the kind of girl in my past relationships where I would say something, and I would expect for my man to just know what I'm talking about. Like like talk to him in coded language, and then I just understood that guys are not wired like that, and that's okay. I cannot get mad at you for not being wired that way. And I knew girls who would give hell to their boyfriends because they did not pick up on what they were saying. It's like you have to spell everything to a man. So what? What if that's true? What if that's the case? If it's true, just don't be an itch with a B and just tell him things. If you want him to do something, say it. If you want him to say something, tell him that you want his opinion on something, like you just said. But don't just be playing games on, you know, I said this, so I'm waiting on your reply. Where is it? No, sometimes guys just don't have anything to say, and that's fine. Um, and on the note of you saying that you're not a guy who's going to like eat chocolate away when you're sad, I used to be that person. I used to expect guys to get sad with me, but that was during my immature teenage, hormones racing kind of time in my life. So then I learned that I need to put this stupid crap aside if I want anybody to take me seriously. So, you know, what I like is that I went through some of those experiences, but I learned, and I need to go through that experience once to learn the lesson immediately. So, anyways, think about it. Women build their own community around that. We are not conditioned. Women always compliment each other or voice things. Men just don't do that. Exactly. So the few guys who are actually nice out there who dare to say compliments to me, I always tell them thank you because um, as good as girls are at just giving compliments sometimes, I feel some type of way about it because I have come to learn that maybe I'm just unlucky with the people I have met, but most of the females who have been involved in my life, they were my competition, and they were trying to disguise themselves as I'm on your side, girl, so that I didn't suspect them from trying to do me dirty. So, anyways, that's all I gotta say on that aspect. So now I am actually at PuckerMob.com, and the title of this article that caught my eye was "This is what unconditional love feels like for an overthinker." Now, you guys know that I overthink a lot. I'm a person who suffers from anxiety, so overthinking is my bread and butter. So, let's see what this article has to say. When you love an overthinker, you are loving someone whose mind plays tricks on them. You are loving someone who cannot help how and how much they think. So, if you want to show how much you love them, you first have to know what unconditional Love feels for an overthinker, and that has a hyperlink on it, but I ain't gonna click it. So far, I like that paragraph because I'm that person. You guys know that on some videos of mine, I started off by saying, so guess what, guys? I totally was not expecting to make a video addressing what I'm going to address today, but I was just thinking about it, or it just came up to me, or as I was driving, I had this thought. I cannot help that. And someone in the comments a long time ago, I think it was Wayne, he said, do these ideas just randomly pop in your head? And I'm like, yeah, this is me during my conscious hours of the day. This is exactly what my brain is doing. Overthinkers are actually going to have questions about your feelings toward them. They will be processing one thing at a time and then constantly be overwhelmed with what ifs. So if you're an oversharer, showing your love to them is gonna be a piece of cake. I can sort of relate to the one that says uh, they will be overwhelmed with what ifs because I'm the same way. I always tell my boyfriend, what if I forget to do this? What if I forget to take that? What if I forget to, or what would happen if my car just broke down and I'm really far away? What if, what if, what if? It's like I'm creating problems that never ever arrive in my life. And also, I am worrying about stuff before crossing to it. Like, I say to myself, I'm going to cross that bridge when I get to it. And what I mean by that is, I will worry about that issue once it's here, not while I am presuming that it may happen. You know, there's a difference. And it took me a long time to have control of that because that used to have control of me. So I'm liking this article a little bit. So we'll see. You need to be one step ahead of them. God dang it. Why am I clicking? It makes random stuff come up. You need to be one step ahead of them. And it did it again. Okay. Sorry, I'm having computer problems. You need to be one step ahead of them, never letting their head start to spin with self doubt. You need to not just tell them that you are there for them. You need to take action and show them instead of just putting words into their head. There is an element of truth to that, and I have a personal experience with that one. On my previous relationship, this guy kept telling me that he has what it takes to wow me, to get me to like him more or feel excited about him, about and me feeling proud about giving him the opportunity. Because I honestly, deep down, did not really like this guy, but he was nice and sweet, but my heart just wasn't beating for him. But I said, what if he is the guy for me and he's just disguised in some kind of a mess and I just gotta give him a break because I'm his first girlfriend, he's nervous, etc., etc. But time was passing by and I was only hearing a lot of things from him but getting no true action. So I cannot say that I had self doubt because I knew what my potential was, but I had a hard time rolling with him because of that. Because I'm like, dude, you have been promising me that you're going to sweep me off my feet, but nothing has happened, you know. So, so yeah, that's a pretty cool statement. But at the same time, I do think that the girl has to responsibilize herself. Completely made that up. Always. Let me see what you're saying because I've noticed with my peripheral vision that you've been posting some stuff. So, what unconditional love means? I think it's more of reassurance and communication. Love can mean many things, no real definition. I overthink all the time and anxiety doesn't help. She has in other videos. I think go check them out. She loves likes and views. And I'm gonna start that over. I think go check them out. She does. God, what am I seeing? She loves likes and views, support the channel, and donate to the church. No, okay. Some people cannot deliver. Interesting. Interesting. For me, unconditional love means that without condition, you're going to love me, but without me abusing your trust, you know? So I'm just such a simple person. I'm pitiful, I guess, but but to me, unconditional love from my boyfriend is, honey, I worked hard to get this promotion, but I didn't get the job. And he says, you know what? It's okay. I saw you working hard. I know you tried, but something better awaits you, or this is not the right time for you. Pretty much encouragement. Another example of how to demonstrate unconditional love for me would be, that we will have arguments, we will have our fights here and there, but that won't change how you feel about me, because what we're fighting about is because we are passionate about our personal beliefs and it's important to us, and we want to remain in harmony with one another, and thus this uncomfortable discussion is necessary. But just know that we're going to make it through this, you know. Also, I think unconditional love is when you're also, this is my boyfriend 100%, you are incredibly tired because you're a man who not only do you work 8 hours a day, you also work out, you also get up early, and you're just you're just tired, period. But you still come over here to see me and say bye to me, and you know, um, checking up on me. What else do I need? What else do I need to ask for? If that doesn't show unconditional love, where I see him struggling to get up sometimes from how tired he is, and when he sometimes ends up falling asleep at the movie theater, or I'm in the middle of my sentence and I see that he's starting to, like, his breathing is slowing down a bit and he may snore here and there, I'm not going to feel offended or get mad at him for that, because I know this man is just tired, and I admire him because he's still getting his stuff done. I just feel proud of him. So that's him showing me unconditional love in the same manner that I show him unconditional love, because I understand that while I would love for him to stay up for me to just listen to what I have to say, it's all right if he's not perfect about it, because he's human. Give this man a break. So I don't know. I just cannot think selfishly all the time. You need to be compassionate and be gentle with their hearts to understand when out of nowhere they are being flooded with fear, when they think everything is terrible while meanwhile you think everything is great. That was me a year and a half ago and past that, because I did have a pessimistic view on the world. I did struggle a lot with finding something good about my day. But then my boyfriend was like, to me everything is great. To me everything is fine. To me all is good. What is the problem? And then that's when I learned that a lot of problems that do not exist in my life, I start and thus begin to actually exist in my life. It's crazy. We unnecessarily complicate things. they can't help how their brain is programmed to process life, laugh. They can't help the thoughts that poke and prod them until they need to explode. So you need to show them empathy, to show them that you aren't going to judge them for perceiving the world differently than you. That's pretty cool because I have felt like not everybody is tolerant of how I perceive the world to some extent. But I was wrong because I was expecting for people to feel the same way I felt after I explained to them why I feel the way that I feel. It goes back to how I said earlier about yes, I used to be the girl who I expected for my guy to feel sad along with me because I'm sad. And I'm like, no, that is wrong because someone has to be having control. If my man becomes weak and vulnerable along with me, who's going to hold us together? Who is keeping the house fortified? So, anyways, I cannot expect for a man to woman in the same manner that a man cannot expect for me to man. You know? So I learned that. I learned to not expect for my boyfriend to be a whole package. And what I mean by that is he's not my mommy, he's not my daddy, he's not my best friend. Because we all have mommies, we all have daddies, and we all have best friends. So my boyfriend is my best friend, but he is not the kind of best friend that I recur to when I am, what can I say? Just the stuff that you reserve to share with your best friend. It's not that I'm hiding stuff from my boyfriend, it's just that there is a level of mystery that is cool to have in the relationship, and that's why it's cool to have a best friend that you can share stuff with so that you don't accidentally overwhelm your boyfriend. You know what I mean? It makes sense to me, but I've never explained that to anybody, so I'm just trying to put my thoughts together as I go along. I need to add more. I put witch hazel on towels when I'm stuffy because it helps me breathe better. But it's been hours since I did it, so this is not doing me any favors. Uh, Bingo, no abusing truth. It goes back to put up with my crap. This is real love. This is real love you to some. It's all about reciprocating. Need to show them empathy. I think some want that and demand that. I think more want someone to sympathize but not feel bad, but also be forced to understand. Bitch, they want a man to have traits of bestie. It's all about balance because taking care of one person takes a lot of work and can run someone off. It's a lot of pressure, and yes, someone to talk to helps. That's not around. That's true because this is all right with kids. If you have kids, you have to take care of them because you cannot they cannot fend for themselves. But if you're a person in a relationship who depends on the other person to be well, something is wrong with you. You need to have a sense of self-sufficiency. There are times when I reach out for help, not because I cannot get something done on my own, but it's because if I can get the help, I will get it. Like when it's that day of the month for me, I get weak because I have anemia. It's not terribly severe, but it runs in the family. So I guess I have a little bit of it, but my mom is anemic. So sometimes I tell my boyfriend, would you be so kind if it's not too much of a problem, if you don't have to get too out of your way, if you don't have to go too out of your way for this, would you please pick this up from the store and bring it to me? I'm trying to not go out because I don't feel fully alert. And he's like, okay. Or he might say, it's going to take me a minute, but I'll be there, you know? But I always let him know I mean it. If you say no, it is okay. I'm not going to play with him and be like, I was expecting for you to say that it's all right, even though I'm giving the option to say no. It's like, have you ever been in a situation when someone asks you, let's say a supervisor, they may ask you, do you mind working on da 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 da? And then you say, I don't want to. And they say, oh, but I have somebody on break, so this and that. Why are you asking me? Why are you giving me the option of saying yes or no? If I say no, it's gonna be a problem. Just be assertive. Just say, do this, and I don't have the option. No questions asked. So in a relationship, it's like if I'm giving my man the option of either doing something or not, I mean it. I'm not playing games. I'm not trying to test him to, oh, let me see if he actually sacrifices himself for me. No, I don't need that. I don't need for this man to prove to me that he loves me. He does that simply by being there for me in my day, simply by checking up on me, simply by taking me on dates, buying me stuff when I don't expect it and it's not my birthday, or do you see that? Is something wrong with me? Why can I not find other people who think like me that are girls? I'm not saying that there's no woman out there who thinks like me. It's just that I haven't found a friend like me. I would love to have. I know that I'm a unique person, but I would love to find someone who's kind of like me. Don't be mad at your boyfriend over petty stuff. Give him a break. Anyways, if you know a girl who I remind you of, or sorry, if you know a girl who reminds you of me, let me know. Because I would like to sit down with a fellow woman and have a conversation like this. But I don't want for her to expect for me to root on her side or err on her side. Because girl power! I'm not like that. I side with logic and logic, you know? So, anyways, goes back to self entitlement and narcissistic. I don't know many women like that. Well, I guess I suck at it. I suck at being self-entitled because I just do. Anyways, let's continue with this. I think I might read the rest of it and just interject unless it's incredibly something. Uh, they can't help how their brain is programmed to process life. They can't help the thoughts that poke and prod them. Did I read that already? I read that already. Oh, I guess I'm almost done. Okay. Thinking I hate this cursor. It's like, yeah. You need to show them that you aren't going anywhere when they share their worries and that you will love them despite how much they repeat and overthink and over worry. Look, it's okay for a guy to have his standards because we as women have them. We don't want a guy who has kids. We don't want a guy who has had a bunch of exes. We don't want a guy who, it's like it's okay for a girl to have expectations, but a guy is not supposed to have them. Like, my man has to be taller than me, older than me, make more than me, be stronger than me, be smarter than me. But if I'm not meeting up to his standards, he is the patriarch. He is oppressive. He is this and that. No. It has to be equal. Some guys, that's saying you need to show them that you aren't going anywhere. Well, when you're dating someone, you're getting to know them. So let's say that for me, one of my rules is that my guy cannot smoke. I don't want that for me. I take care of myself. I know smoking is bad. I don't like the smell. I have asthma that can send me to the hospital anyway. Like, it irritates me. So I think I deserve to find me a guy who is healthy and takes care of his health and skin and interior because I do it. So why can a guy not have standards? If you're an unstable girl and your man simply does not want to put up with that, he has a right to go away. He just does. So I don't know. I just cannot be the type of person to impose limitations on someone. I would love for my man to be perfect, but realistically, he can't be. There's always going to be something that we disagree on, and that's fine. He's an individual. We just need to find the equilibrium to not let that affect us severely. So that reading that little phrase made me feel some type of way. So, and it's back to what you say, the H, the entitlement stuff. You need to be able to communicate, not just to reply with one word answers or one sentence messages. You need to be able to always say how you feel when you feel it instead of hiding it or leaving it for later. I used to expect that out of my boyfriend, all of my boyfriends. But I learned that sometimes they just don't have anything to say. Like, sometimes I'm going really deep into some of my feelings with my boyfriend, and he's like, "Oh, uh, I see. That's not good," or this and that, and I'm like, "Can you tell me something that I don't know already?" That's what I want to say. But then when I think about it, I'm like, I talk so much that I say what he the only answer that any human could have come up with. I said it for him. And in order for him to not sound stupid, he's still going to repeat it. So I make it hard for him to have something constructive to tell me that I don't know already. So that for me is where my mind is a complicated one and an overthinking one because I just can't help it. It's my design, it's how I am. I'll get to your messages in a second. Um, because overthinkers will try to find meaning in everything that you say and do, so you might as well be completely open with them, even if it's hard to do. With that, I can relate because um, I always tell my boyfriend out of the blue, I ask him questions, and I'm like, "Oh, that didn't mean anything to you? That wasn't exciting for you? You didn't have anything to think about it?" He just said, "No, it's just something that gets done and period." I'm like, "Really? You don't put emotion to it, this and that?" And he's like, "There is nothing to put emotion to." And I'm like, "I can come up with emotions about it." And he's like, "Well, that's you, but me, no." I used to not understand that, but the way that I was able to understand that was to put myself in his place and let go of myself a little bit because I was making everything about me. So once I learned to do that, the quality of my relationships went from great to amazing, you know. So, anyways, oh crap. They will always appreciate honesty and they will always be honest with you in return. I mean, This is not an issue of a guy is lying to you. It's an issue of a guy is not talking because he's not a talkative creature. I don't like that sentence because honesty means, as far as I know, right? The act of saying the truth, being frank. So by saying they will always appreciate honesty, it's like you're not being honest from the start. You're accusing your man of lying when he hasn't lied. Just because someone is not saying something doesn't make them a liar. Lying means you say something with the intent to deceive. Yeah, I have issues with that sentence. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I have issues with that sentence. You need to be able to talk to them out of their frenzies, to be able to calmly tell them, no, that isn't going to happen. Loving an overthinker can be challenging, can be a challenging, but it's worthy. They have a bigger heart and love hard. Yeah, that's a typo. It says loving an overthinker can be a challenging. It should be can be a challenge. Or say loving and overthinking can be challenging. Get rid of the A. That bothers me. I want to submit it and be like, can y'all please edit that because it's hurting me. They have a big heart and love hard. Overthinkers are complex human beings, but also makes them beautifully unique. They might sometimes drive you crazy, but they will stay loyal to you for eternity, no matter how many weird habits you have or how much baggage you can carry. I can relate to that because I always tell everybody I'm with, I'm a ride and die with you person. So, although I have been disappointed in every relationship a little bit to some extent, um, I still loved them. I still respected them for how they were, you know? Um, I'm not afraid of loving. I mean, I'm just genuine like that, you know? I understand that stuff is just not gonna be perfect, but I'm not going to condemn you for it, you know? So, okay, let me get back to some of the stuff you're saying. Uh, uh, I hate that they need to undertone. I agree, this is why so many women get mad. I know many women that hate the things I say because of logic. I don't believe how society says women can have standards, but men can't, like we're supposed to not have a voice. Women hate men that have standards. I make so many so bad on a daily basis because I say no to double standards. I'm an equal opportunity asshole. I think because men don't want to argue, that's why we don't say much. I believe you. I've learned that about guys. Many of us use logic. We have to do this. We can't go around being in our feelings. We're built since birth to be a certain way. See, ideal with facts and logic. This is the first time in history both genders have to work together. Side by side, women keep trying to force us to be a complete package, which can't happen unless you want a miserable person. Indeed. Yes, indeed. See, for me, I knew that I might have a bumpy ride with relationships because I never had a man for an example, or I just didn't know what a man was supposed to be. So I guess I assumed that I was a woman and the thoughts that I have are the thoughts that a guy has, except that they just look different from me and they are shaped differently from me because they need to have their stuff so that, you know, when daddy human and mommy human get together and spend the night, we get more baby humans, you know, so you need to be designed differently. That's what I used to think. I used to think that mentally we were the same across the board, but now I understand why those differences exist, which I used not to because I didn't know. I don't have a way. If I don't get exposed to something that I'm not good at, how can I get better at it? So when I was growing up, because of my daddy issues, I had issues with guys across the board because I automatically condemned them to be bad before they even had a chance to do anything bad to me if they intended to do something bad. So I just assumed that all guys were gonna treat me or be like my dad, and I was wrong. So I had to learn that. I had to learn that not everyone is my father. And I had to learn that not everybody is Zambri when it comes to thinking. So, yeah. Okay. And I saved this other article. This is the last one. So I'm just going to read through it, be done with this, and then I guess if we have more rambling to do, we'll just do it. This one is from PuckerMom.com and it says 10 things you need to know before dating the girl with a big heart but complicated mind. Let's see how this goes. And honestly, when you read all of these articles, they all kind of have the same voice. Like, the girl is the victim, this and that. So I guess this is a girly website. I really hadn't messed with PuckerMob until now. So, but based on the titles of other articles, yeah. I'm using this computer, and this computer has Linux software, and I'm so terrible at it. The girl with the big heart but complicated mind requires a special type of patience and nurturing that you're not used to, but it'll be worth it. She probably won't make the first move and she needs time to warm up, so like chill. Before you get involved with the girl with the big heart but complicated mind, there are definitely certain things you should know. Number one, we're not going to nod and laugh and always be comfortable. We're not going to just let you do whatever you want. We won't put up with not getting everything we deserve. But that's because we crave more from you. We care. We're opinionated and passionate, which sometimes results in us arguing with you at inopportune moments. Number two, dang it. I hate that refrigerator. It makes that weird noise. But don't be fooled into thinking we want to pick fights with you about everything. We hate childish, insignificant drama. We don't have time for that shit. We just won't put our needs aside to keep the peace or let you get away with not being the best you can be, which will sometimes result in fights. But this will ultimately make you and our relationship greater. Dating us won't be the end of your liberty, it's the beginning of it. Fights are stemmed from our passion, not from wanting to control you or put you down. There will be heated debates at 3 a.m., disagreements when you're acting out of line, and passionate arguments about the way we're living because you need friction to create fire, and we never want to spark to die out. I mean, you know how much static there is during the winter time? You'll be okay, sister. You'll be okay. We don't want you to be the person you always agree with. So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. You're arguing, arguments stem from the fact that you're debating because when you're debating, two ideas are clashing. But then, immediately after that paragraph, you say, We don't want to be the person you always agree with. So you're fighting to prove your point because when you fight, you're trying to convince the other person to think like you. But then here, you're saying, please do not agree with the fact that I'm fighting to change your opinion, but don't you fucking dare to agree with me. Even though this fight will end if you placate me and if you agree to my point. Man, fuck this. But, anyways, let's continue. As much as we challenge you, we want you to challenge us too, to change, to grow, to expand in ways that wouldn't have ever occurred to us before we met you. We aren't afraid to confront you because sometimes you need that extra push. And we sure as hell want you to push us right back. We are actually mush underneath our hard exterior. Organs have to be mushy, because imagine if you had hard organs. That shit would hurt. The best gifts you can give us have no price tag. Every time you touch us with passion and sincerity, we'll actually melt. We get chills when you genuinely show us how you feel. We don't like to be vulnerable. Having a big heart comes with the ability to love to the fullest extent, intensely and ingeniously. This also comes with the ability to be hurt to the fullest extent, which we definitely have been. Let us know that it's okay to let ourselves be weak sometimes and fall into someone else's arms without fear of being vulnerable. No matter how much we feel it, we might not be able to say, I love you first. We can't help it. No matter how much we love you, we feel like we might express too much and need to take it back. That's where snarky comments and distance come in. But you've got to dig and notice the sweetness we might be trying to hide. In the beginning, the physical part is way easier than the more emotional, vulnerable part of the relationship, and you can never take advantage of that, even though it seems like a perk in the beginning. We might try to compensate with physical intimacy if we get too intimate in conversation, but don't let it sway you. Now, let me tell you something. For me personally, it's easier for me to engage in a conversation before I engage in a physical act. Because a physical act is very personal, intimate, private. I feel weird about that. Let me tell you, it's like, sure, I'll get laid first and ask questions later. No, no, no. Oh, I don't play with demons. Yes, at times we can be difficult. That just comes with the territory. Our minds are always imaginative and analytical. And we're constantly thinking, but no one will love you better. No one will make love to you as passionately. It's not going to be easy, but easy will never satisfy you. If you want easy, you're going with the wrong girl, or you're with the wrong girl. The girl with the big heart but complicated mind is a challenge. I'll be the first to admit, but we will satisfy you in every sense of the word. We won't always be sweet, but we'll never leave you bored or wanting more. This isn't the type of girl you want to lose. This is the type of girl who's wifey material. Her unconventional thinking will definitely expand your mind and capabilities. With this girl by your side, you can't live normal. If you tried, your life will never be boring or ordinary. She'll make the whole world feel wide open to you. She'll be the person you'll want to come home to and the person you'll want to escape with. She'll change your life. If I wanted to go home, if I wanted to go home to someone who is just unstable, I just don't know my standards. That's all I gotta say. So I know you sent me a load of comments. So let me get close to you. Uh, I should have really stopped and caught up to your comments because they I don't know where I stopped at now. Anyways, um, and yes, on that note of you saying that I think us men don't want to argue, that is so true. It took me a long time to learn that because I was just so used to conflict and stuff like that. So once I learned that guys genuinely do not want to fight and argue, I'm like, you know what? I don't want that either. So everything just became so much easier after that. Um, See, deal with facts. Okay, I read that. You want a miserable person. I read that. Plus, women need to stop using that's just how women are as a crutch. I hate this a lot. Some women be like, well, us women are crazy, just deal with it. Mental health is questionable and shouldn't be praised. You know what's funny? Women have built a community around themselves for generations. No, women don't want anymore. That's true. Read on. I love Linux. I have like 16 Linux computers at home. You know, I guess we should do an exploring with my computer because I can't get it to play music. And I think that's something really basic that all computers should do. Like, I have a CD reader on this computer, which my pink computer doesn't have. So I need for it to play music out of CDs because I don't have anything else that plays CDs. Anyways, your facial expressions and country accent. I've been practicing. That's BS. So again, we have to put up with your crap. This whole thing is contradicting, so it's worth and how it's liberating someone from the norm to be indentured servant, the nervous name. Okay, I just got here and what the fuck is going on? Well, Mr. JJ, you arrived an hour and 20 minutes late to the party. So there's truly no way for me to sum it up, Jacobs. Sorry, but basically, I was just reading some articles and just tearing them apart. um, Late first and ask questions later. I guess I'm gonna have fun in 2 weeks. Don't get any ideas, you crazy dude. Sounds like a try. Wife material while writing the article single. These demands are off chain. Yes, I want to escape. Yes, I would want to escape with me and Casper and Friendly Ghost. I wrote a lot. It's okay. Take your time. I want to argue with you. Argue with you. What? No, for one. Um, this guy with the tennis shoes, JJ, as I like to torment him, he is definitely fun. So I would love to see you guys just having a crack at each other in the comments. Amuse me. Anyways, girl, I had to work. How do you expect me to pay bills and now your bills on time? Oh yes, I did it. I persuaded you to business deal. Business deal. Yes, I want to because I want your baby. I bet you do. She's hot. See, I knew it. I'm just gonna sit here and get my bag of popcorn because this is gonna get fun. A lot of men do. Anyways, I think you guys are hilarious. You two are definitely among my top favorite people to talk to or whatever. So, yeah, yeah. We are going to be on Mario fighting over custody. Hey, space time traveler. Is your name Traveler or Traveler? Yeah, Traveler. Um, you can want her after I take her to court. If you win, can pay for my child support. Wow. It will be 538 a month, sir. Oh God, that. Yeah, that's pretty much my mom and I, both of our car payments combined. A little less than that, but really close. So that's terrifying. Yeah, you guys need to get your children's situation together. Hell nah, you got child support, I got the rest. Oh man, that's funny. So, anyways, guys, to conclude my thoughts overall in these articles, reading them at first glance, it's like you want to sort of agree as a woman because it portrays pictures that just aren't realistic, but experience teaches you that you don't live in a fantasy. Like, um, relationships just take work, and you have to be open to ideas and be able to accept that things will not go your way, but in its place, you will receive good stuff, but it's disguised in a way that you don't recognize as pleasurable. Like, yeah, you can have your ideal, in my case, ideal man pictures in my mind, but I cannot demand that because otherwise I'm going to be single forever. Because there's no guy has to put up with something like that. No guy has to lose his identity just to make a woman happy. What is this woman doing for him? Pushing babies out, maybe cooking for him, and maybe cooking for him, but not necessarily feeling love about it. Because what I mean by that is one of my uncles had a wife that he worked at, it had to do something with natural resources. But anyways, it's a job where you would get dirty. You would get dirty, sweaty, and everything. And literally, he would come home and, try to hug his wife, and she would be like, oh, ooh, get away from me. Don't touch me. You stink. Take a shower or something. You're dirty. My boyfriend, I guess, has an instinct of being respectful. There were times when he would go to the gym and I had to skip it. And let's say that I was wearing, I don't know, I know I was wearing a dress one time. And he was timid about it. He was approaching me for what I anticipated to be a hug, but he like stopped and he was like, oh, I'm all sweaty and dirty and all that. And I'm like, so what? I'm not going to not hug you just because I'm wearing these clothes. To me, clothes mean nothing. Honestly, people gave them meanings. God, I really need to get rid of the stuffy nose. But anyways, but what if that's the last time I see you? What if this is the last time you see me? I'm going to miss out on the opportunity to hug you just because of what I'm wearing and just because of what you're secreting through your skin, which is normal because you're a person who just worked out hard and your body temperature increased. And to prevent you from like setting a blaze or some shit, cooking your organs in your own juices, you had to sweat that stuff to cool down, you know? So I just can't be that way. At work, I have had some people who I just have a connection to, so I just hug them, and they're like, over the summer, it was pretty hot, and they would be kind of sweaty, and they would tell me that they're like, I'm kind of sweaty, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm worried about you. You're my friend, and I just love you like that. So I want to hug you, creature. You know. So I have never been grossed out by hugging someone who was sweaty. Quite the contrary. I'm like, wow, you're working hard or you're under the elements. Points to you, you know? But, anyways, I'm just weird. I guess I'm weird, guys. Y'all help me. Anyways, let me see what you're saying. Uh, Hell no, I got stuff to do. You got the rest. Paid them BMW prices. Oh, of course, you want to agree. Who wouldn't agree with the winning side? Women be reading them softcore hot books, looking for Peter Pan to save them. Peter Pan peanut butter. That almost sounded like a tongue twister. The media and culture has given women the wrong idea about men. Yes! Oh my god. Yes. Preach it. Yes. Because honestly, I wish that I could remember how I used to think before I got exposed to television, the internet, and I guess articles in general. And it definitely would have changed my perception by a lot. Um, but fortunately, I retained a lot of sense to be able to identify what's right and whatnot. So, anyways, I'm not going. I'm not going wife stuff unless I see a peanut butter sandwich. I agree. The wrong idea about men. Why women believe the BS they're told. I will never know. You know, the reason they will believe that stuff, space time, is because it's convenient for them. Well, since I'm a woman, I guess I have to include me. It's convenient for us. So, something that will benefit us inevitably, we will want to um, propagate it, see it proliferate. But even though it's not right, because it can serve us good, that's the propaganda that we want to put out so that we get the benefit. See what I mean? Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm not making a lot of sense. I'm just when I can't breathe well, I guess oxygen just cuts off from my brain, and I just struggle to find my words. But anyways, your man soft. I will show you how a real man can dance. Oh man. The real woman hug after a play in the mud, that's real. Real women hug after a play in the mud, that's real love. I make sure when women give the man some ultimatums by being annoying, I do the same thing, and when they get mad, I'm like, remember, I have to put up with your ish. Sounds like an only child. Does he have any brothers? I agree. Convenience. I also have wondered that. I have wondered about how would my life have been if I would not have any siblings. But that's a video idea because it's fun to speculate. I think when I visit your state, I'm asleep in your guest room, and I bet your man is going to be cool with it. Well, if you were to visit me, I don't think there's room for you, bro. Because my room is pretty much uninhabitable. Um, because of the big mess that I have. So sounds like some crap I would do. But anyways, you guys, I don't know. This type of thing gets my mind wandering, and we'll share the bed. I bet you won't mind. Well, about that, remember that I don't have to exactly stay where you will stay. So Hashtag dirtbags. That too. I guess we could go military. Just give you a sleeping bag of some sort. But anyways, um, but maybe it has to do with our socialization. Women are more dependent on family and sisterhood. Absolutely. And you see, that's why um, I don't know if the other two, Jacobs and DH, if you guys um, were around here. I'm pretty sure you were. For when I posted that video about, this was back in July, the one about, what is it titled again? um, God, I my mind is blank right now. A world without men. That's what it is. Um, I was saying in it that I feel like I'm part of a privileged group. So, as a woman, nobody will question me twice if I say that I have been a victim of abuse. I don't even need to have evidence. I can just say that, and with a false accusation, I can really mess up a man's life for life. Even if this man somehow proves that he's innocent, the damage that I will inflict on him is for life, because you cannot really clean that up from his name. So there has to be consequences. We need to stop looking at women as they are fragile and weak and they're so defenseless and this and that. No, because some women understand how the system works, that the system is biased toward them and will favor them. And that hurts so much. That does so much damage because we end up with broken homes. We end up with more kids who are more likely to commit crimes because they don't have a structure, they don't have the proper discipline. So I just want for things to work, for the system to not be corrupted, for justice to be justice for everybody, This is important. So, anyways, that's why I just cannot roll with this girl power mess when I think about it, I don't feel like I really do much in my day to contribute big to society, Like I have always said that I hope that how can I say this? I feel like a man who I'm gonna speak for myself. If a man were to marry me, he's doing me a huge favor. But society wants me to believe that by me marrying the guy, I'm doing him the favor because I'm leaving my home, I'm leaving my family, I'm leaving everything behind to go with a guy, and I am going to be there for him, and I'm going to be keeping the house clean, and just pretty much be support and all that. But having a man take me home with him means that I do not have to worry about mechanical stuff, fixing around the house, my car issues, they'll be addressed somehow. Financially, I guess this is a pride thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. You know that when I'm wrong, I accept it, but he's going to be the main source of income. Like he's going to be the one bringing home more bacon than I am. So so who's doing who a favor? He's gonna look after me because he knows that there is some stuff that I'll be lacking at. I'll be weak in some things, like repairing, how to repair something, how to seek stuff like that. I don't know. If he wants to have a conversation that's really technical, I will be the worst person for him to go to. So, if I'm going to be taken care of and helped financially, and pretty much my biggest duty is going to be to push the babies and raise them when they come, it's fair that I have that kind of hard work to do. because he's already doing his high level of hard work, you know? Like, you guys ever hear women say, I'm both the mother and the daddy of my children? No, you fucking ain't. Because that's why you're called the mother, and the father is the father. If unfortunately there is a high incidence of fathers not being there with their kids, oh well, but that does not mean that suddenly you have the manly essence and you know what you're doing. No, you cannot be a daddy if you are a mother. No! Stop saying that. You don't know what it's like to not have a father if you were brought up with both of your parents. You cannot opine in that manner. So, in the event that I have kids and I have to separate from the father of my kids, I'm never going to tell them, don't miss your daddy because I'm both your mom and your dad. There is stuff that only a man can teach because he's designed to teach that. Um, I cannot teach the role of a man when I'm not one, and I cannot manifest as one. See what I mean? But you'll see it all over the place. Ah, women, shout out to you because you sacrificed yourself, you sacrificed your body, you gave birth, and you work 24/7 taking care of kids. They cry and you take care of them. And I'm not trying to say that women doing that is not an important task. I'm just saying that you cannot celebrate something that is your job. You cannot expect to be given extra credit, extra points, extra bonus when it's your job. You had the kids. You are the mother. They are your responsibility. You are the father. So they are your responsibility too. Why do you want for the world to just celebrate you like that when it's your fucking job? You have to be responsible for these creatures that you're pushing out of your body because who else is going to do it? Nobody else has to do it because it's not their responsibility. See that, guys? I'm serious. That's why I cannot roll with this movement that women have of we need to unite and fight. What do they say? Oppression and this and that. I do not feel oppressed. I cannot say that I'm oppressed when people don't expect a whole lot out of me. If I say I cannot lift this because I have abdominal pain from that day of the month, nobody questions me. I don't get penalized for that. You know, Meanwhile, if a guy wants to skip out on a task, he's called weak, not manly enough, not a girl. They call weak men girls. They associate girls with weakness. It makes sense to be called weak if you're a woman because you're designed to handle less when it comes to strength. And that's okay. There is a reason for that. It's because you cannot be applying pressure if you want to be fertile. Like like the way your body is designed is to handle stresses associated with birth. But when it comes to other kinds of activities, that can compromise your reproductive system. So that's why you have to take it easy. Why are you trying to compete against men when they are designed to dominate on those areas where we are weak? Anyways, let me catch up with what you guys are saying. That stuff like that gets me fired up, so that's why I just started ranting, and it was probably like unnecessary. But I just want for you guys to know where I stand. Like I mean it. Let's see. Uh, uh, oh, I love when I hear a man talk about the man. Period. I can't wait to get to that. Uh, uh, Well, you guys said a lot. I'll catch up to all that. Okay, convenience sounds nice and ish, man, dirt bags, but maybe it has to do with our socialization. I'll sleep next to the cat. Good luck with that. Back to the whole community thing they built a long time ago. Oh my god, if men weren't around, women would be extinct. Y'all would kill each other and still be living in huts. Women don't build. That's true. We don't. We inherit and probably attempt to enhance the look of something, but it's in theory because, as far as I know, a woman does not install the new garage door to their garage. You know what I'm saying? So she can choose the design and be like, honey, this one looks nice. Can we buy that? But at the end of the day, it's the guy who has to either do it himself or contact the people to get that done. You know? And the people who you're contacting to get it done is going to be men. So now, women are trying to force men to be in their club. Yes, I was there for that video. You are correct. That's why so many men are going MGTOW. DH, thanks for mentioning MGTOW. Because I have a question about it. I know that MGTOW stands for men go their own way, but does that mean that guys who are MGTOW, does that mean they can't have girlfriends or they don't want girlfriends? It's a genuine question because does men go their own way mean that they don't want anything to do with women? Because the definition that I read online is that they go in like a path of self value and do not need others to tell them what their worth is, something like that. But I want to understand the MGTOW thing a little better because I feel like I have a lot of misconceptions of it. So just go ahead and talk to me about what that is and what that means, literally. Um, because I'm not sure that I understand the meaning of it online. So if you guys want to have at it and share with me, go ahead and do it as I catch up with your other comments. Catch up on my breath, and also hydrate. And holy shit, I spilled some of this. I forgot that I had it open. Anyways, you guys say whatever you say while I clean up some of this. Oh, some of it fell on my computer too. Anyway, the lid was closed, so I'm not worried about it. It has a sleek surface. I need to add more witch hazel in this. Okay. Well, now I have to find my place. Scrolling again. Um. Okay. This is so true. Women are being used against men, and it's going to hurt women more than men. I got to disagree with you on that one, baby. It's actually a simple thing. I don't see why guys go MGTOW. Oh, so Jacobs, you're not a MGTOW guy? Um, Women need men, period. That's why they demand. There are many levels to go in MGTOW. It's not about saying if women want F women and leave them alone. It's about waking up. She even explains how men can be blamed. Men have one weakness: his heart, mother, sister, wife, daughter, or community. Guys, would you guys agree that sometimes, um, shoot, what was I saying? I forgot. I'm sorry. I was going to ask something about you guys being guys plus your mother and her effect in your life, but I forgot how I was going to ask or what I was going to ask. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. There is nothing wrong with men doing their own thing. I agree, men's weakness is family and community. Nah, you still ain't getting it. Oh, I get it. If the people in charge have anything to say about that, it won't be that way for long. It has never stopped me from anything. Most people also don't need to be turning after women left and right. Guys, would you guys say that, say, if you have both of your parents, talking from your perspective, not mine, so you guys are guys, and then your parents end up splitting up, do your do mothers normally treat their sons like they're the new man of the house? Like, you see what I mean? Or do women just understand that their sons are not their husbands? If you need more clarification on my question, let me know. It's just that one of your comments up here in the thread triggered that. Um, it has never stopped me from anything. Most people also don't need to be tuning after women left and right. Women are used to keep they men in line. Oh, I hate that feminist ish. They took Father's Day away. Did they? They took Father's Day away? There are women out there buying themselves ash for Father's Day. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes. I caught up to it now. Yes. There's women who say that. I saw it on Facebook. Either last year or the year before. People were like, well, it's Father's Day. Shout out for all of us mothers who were both the mother and daddy, and we should also get gifts. Bitch, no. Yeah, right, Camary. I know you going to be like, yo, daddy ain't shit. Yep, they used to because they knew how its mutual relationship will live in that whole over there culture. And with social media, women have backup men just waiting to be next in line. That's true, because sometimes I can tell when a couple is about to break up, sometimes on my Facebook, based on the activity that I see on the comments that they get on pictures they post. It's like, okay, let's say that the girl is posting trash about that she shouldn't be posting about problems that she has with her boyfriend. And then she posts a picture and then she gets some likes and maybe some flirty conversation that you look at it and you think that it's harmless. They might be good friends just playing around with each other. But somehow, this person, maybe a couple of weeks, a month later, she updates her Facebook status to saying that she's in a relationship with the guy who she had been commenting seemingly innocently back and forward. So, yeah, you guys are not BSing when you say that. I have seen this for myself. Yes, children come first and they are not fighting oppression. It goes back to self entitlement. Yes, the shaming tactics used by women for women is how to control you. This is why men go back to. No one wants to be someone else's slave. Men don't get it. Don't even get me started on slavery because there was some true slavery going on, and then having slavery, the horrible one that we experienced hundreds of years ago, now it evolves into a seemingly more passive form, but it's still feeling like a slavery. So I do know what you mean when you say slave in that context, but it's like, when will the abuse amongst each other just end? Most men are willing to pay and simp. This is why I call modern day dating is prostitution. Men insist on being a utility. Men that insist on being a utility is weak. You still ain't getting it, my man. I don't know how to teach you. Men and women have their roles. There is no teaching. How old are you? Yes, Jacobs, how old are you? I have been married and have children. My dad and grandfather teach men, please don't start. He can be kind of a troll at the age, so just roll with him. Not McTell. I am younger than you, but I still can teach you some game. Game is not an issue. I can get many women. It's in the name, McTell. No, you got the wrong idea of game still. That's not the game. I lived by myself and had many pretty women. Game is not that. How old are you? You assume that, and that's not game, okay? Going to explain MGTOW, it has to do more with putting yourself first and not being a utility. Okay, I am going to assume you're in your 40s. I'm in my 30s, and dude, just leave it alone for now so we can stay on topic. I'm 32, fool, and don't assume over the internet. Why you mad at me? Yeah, I was gonna say that. I'm like, oh man, you know, he, yeah, um, Jacobs has. I don't know if he tries to get me worked up, but he just comments some weird stuff. So yeah, he's definitely trolling. Are you? Systematic gynocentric. Okay, let me get this closer to my face because I'm getting. I had a long day today, so my eyes are getting kind of tired, and then my glasses have that scratch. So yeah, systematic. Gy- I never know how to say that. Gynocentric. I'm gonna say gynocentric. Bias against men, including double standards in gender roles, bias against men in family courts, lack of concern for men falsely accused of rape. Being a red pill is waking up to the BS. I'm not mad, I'm trying to address her question. You can wait. Yes, the age, then you. MGTOW is about ownership and doing for self. We live in a society where men can now not be a slave. Not very pure. Sex has always been free. No need to have game. You can get the best or worst women by telling the truth. They are still trying to shut Father's Day down. Okay, I remember that now that I think about it. I think it was last Father's Day, but recently on Twitter it was trending. A lot of people, I don't know if these were those keyboard gangsters, keyboard warriors, whatever, or just people trying to troll. But I saw a lot of tweets saying, "Why do we still celebrate this thing?" Da 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 da. Yeah, I should make a separate video on that, cause yeah. How can you say you disagree with something when you don't understand when people are understanding? I am way too tired, and that sentence is way too elaborated for me. So let me read it slowly again. How can you say you disagree with something when you don't understand when people are understanding? Okay, I get it now. You can think game is the way. If you're doing your thing as a man, you don't need game. Game is just that game. It's nothing more. It's like putting your best foot forward or creating an image of yourself that's not true. If this wasn't true, women wanted to say fuck boys. There was an article in PuckerMob that said to the guy who is a fuck boy or something. Again, back to MGTOW, I addressed to you, take it or leave it. You still don't get it. I can help you if you want. Men don't argue. There is nothing to help stop assuming, dude. You keep pressing the issue like a woman. Use the balls are seen on table on top and get out of your feelings. You still ain't getting it. Sit on my lap. Oh man, I find that hilarious. I hope that you guys are not really nearly having beef with each other. It's just that I like how you guys have your guy talk. I'm trying to keep up. All oppression begins with the state, no exceptions. Anyways, MGTOW is about men have their own space to talk. It's not going to work with me. I'm the troll of all trolls. Yeah, the age getting all worked up. I think it's a good topic and trying to address your topic. You seem under the weather. Take care of yourself. Hey, Kevin. Yes, I kind of am. It's a combination of my workplace needing some serious addressing and also the weather. Definitely the weather. Because when I go to bed, sometimes I'm pretty cleared up, but sometimes I'm not. And then when I wake up, it's like, how did I survive sleeping when I couldn't breathe that well? So, anyways, check this out. I could simp and be in beta and trick off my money, or could do my own thing like building businesses and worry about my family. This is why I work for myself. When you do for self, women love that. It doesn't take game, trust me. So DH, is it safe to assume that you're totally a MGTOW guy? Maybe that's obvious and maybe you literally said that, but I'm really trying to make sure that I'm associate things correctly. Social media exists to distract us. That is true. Because, I mean, look at what happened with this net neutrality stuff. They conveniently expressed this when we were at our busiest times, which is, all wrapped up in the holidays and trying to save a dollar and this and that. So they distracted us from something that is so important like that. So, anyways, you're still talking about game DH. Game is for children. Men could give two shits about trying to impress. Yes, social media is a distraction. No, we are not. Data mining exists to control and censor. It's funny, but let me pop open this drink. Me too. As I read that, I was literally trying to get this cap open. Yeah, we beefing. I'm gonna put DH in my next district. Oh man. It's getting off the plantation is key. This is the funny part. Feminists say women are oppressed and don't want to be a slave. Guess what? Feminists have free men. Many years ago, people expected to get married. We don't have to be forced to be married so soon. It seems people still want to live together and get married very early without working on themselves. MGTOW is the way. I do data mining. I am actually working on building a data and research business. Hell yeah, DH, that's my boy. Societal pressures and poor decisions. And if I say come over and you want to smash, that's cool. Okay. Alright, so I'm certainly wrapping my head around this a little better now. Someone left me a mean comment today and they left initials that I had never seen before. I know it had like two W's in it, but anyways, I looked it up and it said women who are like anti-feminist or something. And then I'm going to make a video where I do like whatever last video that I edited and I put a mean comment in the beginning and I said my reply. I also sent a reply to this person. But anyways, he was saying, "Oh, you made your bed, now lay in it. Um, don't tell me that you are that acronym. I forget what it stands for, but anyways, and this and that." And I'm like, first of all, you don't know me, and second of all, don't tell me what to do. So with that video of a world without men, in case someone needs any help understanding what I'm saying, I believe that in the end of it, I said that the point of that video is to just celebrate the accomplishments that men just accomplish, if I may have to say so again, on a daily basis that they don't get applauded for and they go unappreciated for. So I believe that I used the example of a lineman worker, lineman, sorry, because I remember losing power over the summer, and in addition, um, how they were able to lay out this whole, the roadways and infrastructure as we know it. That is that labor of men. Women may have done a little something, but at the end of the day, the the skeleton is like men did that. So when it comes to feminism, this is a whole video that I just need to do separately. But like I've expressed before, I just cannot roll with the kind of feminism that expects for me to unite with other women. How can I unite with other women when other women have been the ones who have tried to bring me down? But because I am critical and analytical and logical, that hasn't happened. So, do you see that, guys? It's like I'm not trying to. I hope that I said that in that video. I don't want to sound like I hate on my own kind. It's just that there is some bullshit being said and spread, and I am calling it out because I don't want to take part of it. But I do agree with the time when feminism was fighting for us to have voting rights because I believe that I, as a person who pays taxes, I should be able to have a say on matters that are important to me. Let's say healthcare. In a situation like that, I feel like when it comes to healthcare, for example, there should be a woman helping make those decisions and those laws because she would understand and somehow relate to what it's like to have those female related issues. So when a guy is making laws deciding over what kind of health care I deserve, yeah, I cannot say that I'm entirely comfortable with that. You see? So so really that's my stand, guys. If I was a man, I feel like I would be the same way. If men have a lot of power and that is the truth, and you are crooked about it, I'm going to call you out on it. It's the right thing you do. It's what people with integrity do. And, those are important personality traits. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be something and say something if I'm not going to live up to it. So if I call out women on being unappreciative, it's because I can relate to it and I can supply examples and evidence of that, you know? So yeah, guys, honestly, that's what I want to convey. I understand the stuff that's going on out there. Some stuff I don't understand, but I try to find out and I go about it with an open mind. I know that I don't have the answers to everything. So when someone teaches me something new, I make sure to let them know, hey, thanks a lot for sharing that the way that you shared it. Because otherwise, I would have never considered it, never contemplated it. And I'm not going to bullshit my way through success. I just refuse. Because the thing about lying and putting up a fake face is that you constantly need to rehearse in your mind what's a lie so that you don't mess it up for yourself, you know? So, anyways, let me catch up with what you lovely guys are saying because I just don't know how to stop. Just leave later unless you make sandwiches in the morning. Ew, I ain't trying to sleep with you, nasty. Then again, I did used to be an escort. I know some people that come from religions and families, they say women had a child, she had to get married because the family doesn't want to take care of children. Yes, that is true. That is true. Oh my god, hold on. Yeah, there's this thing of, oh, wait until you're married to have kids because this and that. Yeah, that's triggering a whole like new set of thoughts. So I'll get to them eventually. I know some people that come from religions. Okay, I just read that. Most MGTOW do not trust anti-feminist. Interesting. interesting. I never thought about that. Uh, at me, I never take anything serious on the internet unless they know me personally. They can't get in my head. I am pretty much a talking pair of shoes. Now I understand your picture. That's cool. Now, I would say I relate to you on that, Jacobs, but the thing of it is that I have learned a lot being on the internet. So I'm glad that there were some things on the internet that I took seriously because it helped me become the person that I am today, which is far happier and just less of a mess than what I used to be. MGTOW or red pill men are not for the brainwashing. The page is talking about brainwashing and entitlement. I tell women, no. Men that can't say no is an issue. If you want to be someone's puppy dog, have fun. Oh, hey Jacobs, what I just read that DH says reminds me of something that you told me about how some women at your job would, like, not necessarily women, women, I think it's women, that they would take advantage of you by, like, you would do them favors before you would go to work or something, and then you caught on their bullshit, and then you just put an end to it, and they were getting mad and junk. Was it you who told me that? I feel like it was you. This is this fourth wave feminism is nuts. I understand first and second wave feminism. This is what helped women because they needed it. See, that's what I'm saying. I feel like we got all the rights and whatever that we needed. So, what are we fighting for now? What do women need that men have that we don't have? Seriously, that's a legit question. I don't know, and I'm a woman, and I should know, so I want to know. But if I don't know, it probably means that there's nothing for us to fight for that's reasonable, you know? Taking rights away from another and using shaming tactics to control the other doesn't sound like someone is very oppressed. Exactly. I guess this whole time that I've had my channel and I've discussed topics like that, that's what I've tried to say, but I just lacked the words. The first wave of feminism never happened. Those women were straight, misguided, and never called themselves feminist. Ah, but basically, because their conduct was defining what feminism should mean, maybe that's why that first wave is called feminism, because it falls under the category of what they do. That's feminism. Okay, it's like me when I get told that I'm a very spiritual person, or I behave like I'm someone who reads the Bible when I don't read the Bible. So it's like you're acting feminist unbeknownst to you. We all have free will and should be accountable for our actions. If someone decides to be a grandmother by the age of 35, whose fault is that? Real men are bit disposable utility. Damn, I am scared of child support though. Men never had voting rights, landowners did, including a rare handful of women. That's true. You know what? That's true because I remember reading that even before women's suffrage was a thing, women who had power, like properties or something, they could vote, and they could vote before some men could. Like men who did not own stuff. Am I making that up or is that true? You guys let me know because I'm starting to be delirious, and at some point I will quit from the stream, but I want to make sure that I read everything and share everything that I need to share. The age is paying $500 a month, 18 years, and in some states they force you to pay child insurance too. What? That is madness. Because, well, I guess in this age that most people only hire part time, it would make sense that you get deducted for that too, because if your employer is not giving you health care for your kids, that health care for your kids has to come from somewhere. Damn, I never considered that. Wow. Wow, that is a big mess. I pay nothing a month. Thinking you running game on women means you are red pill but not a MGTOW. It's like I still rather play with the risk. If you want to play, I hope you are fixed and wear condoms. STDs are real. I'm gonna start doing vlogs as well soon, but I need better equipment. No, Jacobs, just do it. Look at me. All I have is a freaking iPhone camera, and that camera that you use to record, record, record your hurricane stuff. I could hear you. I could see the picture. So just do something, and don't worry about equipment too much. Just produce something. But then again, you're you. I don't own you, so you can do as you please. But I guess I just look forward to you. Men build, and if you want to waste time to run game, just means you're a red pill or a blue pill. So the age, you can see my face soon since I know you're very interested. Oh man, you're just never going to take anything seriously. Why do I care about a man's face? I'm good with all that. Hell yeah, one of my coworkers went home crying last night. She always talks shit, but hey, I can verbally argue most people down. Oh man. Trust me, the age, at least subscribe. We have to stick together, remember? Stats show men waste an average of 20,000 in dates in a lifetime. I can see that. For a middle income family to raise a child born in 2015 through the age of 17, the cost of rearing a child has hit $233,610 according to the report. Citation needed. Nah, just kidding. I believe that because I can sort of mentally just calculate all that because children are expensive. People don't think about that. People just think it's just diapers and baby food and everything, but they don't consider all other factors like enrollments into whatever's. Anyways, some states will even make you pay child support if you marry a woman and the child is not yours. Yes, I've heard of that. If I stop for a second, it's because I'm like, did I read that sentence wrong? But then I'm like, no, yeah, no, that's crazy. See, no one ever talks about this. Or probably people try to talk about it, but because it depicts a negative picture on the vulnerable, fragile, weak woman, defenseless, it doesn't get promoted. If you sign your name on the birth certificate and you do a DNA test, you can still pay child support. Femin- feminism. Feminism started in the 70s when the women liberation movement joined the female arm of the LGBT movement. I'm glad that you said that, space time, because I remember having a conversation with someone. This wasn't on the channel. I was like, why is it that LGBT community problems somehow seep into feminism discussions? Feminism is about, um, what is it? The advocacy for rights for women, etc., etc. How do LGBT community issues get into feminism issues? LGBT issues are LGBT community issues. They're not feminist issues. But maybe I'm wrong. You guys just correct me. Don't be afraid to fill me in on something if I'm incorrect because this is my opportunity to learn. I think my first vlog will be a collab with you. Whee! Well, I look forward to it. We'll make it good. People think they have game and STD rates. are higher than it is to be again. We almost got rid of most STDs, not anymore. People can't keep acting they not burning. The Asia's still talking about game. Game recognized game. The Asian, you look way too unfamiliar. Purple, who is this woman? Pikes in cases of syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia. Running game on her lips, or you make clapping while you pee, you make your own music in the bathroom, clap, clap. This is what they don't talk about unfair laws. I see no one talk about it, and women don't want to talk about negative again. Sandwich and smash. Steve Jobs was a MGTOW. He told her ex, I guess his ex, he couldn't waste time laying up. He had things to do. It's in the movie and funny because, again, running after women is not the business. Sorry, I had a memory of when I was in my psychology class in my senior year, and when you said it's in the movie, I remember my psychology teacher said to a girl in the classroom, I saw this on TV where this and that happened, and then my psychology teacher said, oh, it happened on TV, therefore it must have been true. So this is probably a terrible thing for me to do and say, but when I read it's in the movie, I was thinking, yeah, it was in the movie, therefore it must totally be true. But maybe it is true. The LGBT movement would not be where they are without feminism. I guess so. LGBT is their own thing. Feminists just want more allies, but the left normally gets eats themselves alive. I know gay and trans people that don't agree with feminists. You know, that reminds me of something from history. Correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't Italians originally not even considered white, but because white population had small numbers, they wanted to recruit more people to be considered white so that their numbers go up. Is that true, or did I dream that? Because it's possible that I just made that up. What's wrong with being gay, DH? No one said anything about being gay. Nobody did it. I am asking you what is so wrong with it. I want to hear your thesis on it. Well, here's my personal opinion on on gay matters and stuff. As a straight person, I cannot understand or relate to what it's like to have feelings for someone of the same sex as you. So I guess my views might sound like I'm intolerant, but like I said, because I cannot relate, I cannot be as excited as you that you're getting rights to get married in the same manner that I naturally have rights to get married and junk because I'm straight. See? So, as long as you don't try to encourage me to experiment so that I can maybe understand better, I'm sorry, I just don't get it. Like, for me, I grew up thinking that by default, boys and girls liked each other. I never heard of boys and girls and girls. I'm not saying that this all started in this last century or this, this homosexuality has been a thing since forever. But what I'm saying is that I personally cannot relate because it's not something that I go through, you know? So, so I don't want to sound like I'm intolerant. Like the fact that other people do stuff that's different from me doesn't bother me. But please do not expect for me to understand you and relate to you because it's something that I don't go through. So if you recur to me for empathy and sympathy, I may disappoint you and I may not be able to display it because I just don't get it, you know? So I have contemplated doing a video about it, but I don't have enough info to really speak about it. So that's why I really haven't addressed my opinion on that. So I don't think I will because honestly, what I just said is all that I have to say. So, yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna finish up reading what you guys said and maybe share another final thought, but I'm going to hit the hay because I'm feeling kind of just drowsy and tired, and I'm starting to not make sense about what I say anymore. But I don't want to just lose your conversation. So I wish YouTube would do something about comments that you guys send during the stream. Why aren't they saved? That's just silly. Um, yep, you are right. They wasn't considered white. Feminism and the LGBT was never separate. Oh, wow, that's a misconception that I had then. I guess I guess I let myself be guided by the definition, space time, because you know advocacy for female stuff when LGBT involves men. So, all right. And DH, you look Haitian. Haitian. This sac passé. The women of the LGBT movement hijacked the women liberation movement. No, homosexual is not what you have been told. Let's get one thing correct. I say I look at it silly. Do you want to know the difference between nationality and race? This is like calling a white looking Puerto Rican white. Please learn the difference because a boat ride doesn't change the way you look. It sounds very foolish. What it means to be gay means to be different from time and place. So you Haitian, and Haitian is not even a race. No, I'm not. Let's give him some grind sometimes. All right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure. I've had fun. I really don't have very much to add after this. So, yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I guess if you guys want to keep having at it after the thing processes, keep commenting if you want. But I am giving up. More videos later, good post. Anything can be called feminism, abortion. I say one thing and DH takes everything I say so serious. Anyways, pro life, not feminist. Man, what a night. All right, guys. I'll see you soon. Good night.